Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I am Gabriella, and this is GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. You guys, today I am bringing to you an amazing, lovely lady that I met online after everything shut down. And wow, what an inspiration she is. She has got some amazing tips to share with us today. Welcome to the show, Nancy. How are you?
I'm doing so fantastic, Gabriella. And you know what? I am so thankful that you allow me to come and enjoy your company today.
Oh, thank you so much. So, Nancy White, the Healthy Cells Chick, that's how you're known. Will you share with us about your expertise?
Oh, well, I think it was started probably about 30 something years ago. Love being a researcher for natural prevention and just making sure that, it's that healthy mind, body, and spirit. But, we have to nurture all three or something starts hollering at us. But that was one of the things that I have loved over the years. Never stop learning and use what we've learned to be able to incorporate for ourselves and share with others too.
That's amazing. So, today you coach and guide people with nutrition and with mindset. Okay.
Yes, and also I include it's healthy mind, body, and spirit. I mean, I just think you need to nurture all three areas because if you leave one area out, then something's going to just sort of get unstable. It's like that old stool with the three legs. It's like chopping one leg off, and all of a sudden,
Right?
we're not doing so good.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah. And that's really, really important. And I happen to know that just like we have an interview talk show here, you recently started your own interview conversation show as well.
I did. I started a TV show on the Win-Win Women TV platform a year ago, January. Well, no, it was last January. It hadn't been a year yet. So, but it's been fantastic because it's just a way to reach so many other people to share some of the knowledge and the wisdom and experience that I have gleaned over the years to be able to help others.
Awesome. So hopefully when we're done, we will make sure to include a link to that so our audience can find out how they can watch you on TV. So Nancy, you were talking about many years loving to research and all of the things that brought you to where you are today. Will you share with us about your background and experience?
Yes, and it started pretty much with the premature deaths of my father and my brother.
Mm.
My father died of Hodgkin's when I was 9, and my oldest brother John died at 22 while he was studying to be a doctor, and he was in the Navy. And so, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, I think there should be some ways to be as preventative as possible. And so that was sort of their death was a birth for me to be able to start learning and living in a natural preventative lifestyle. Now, I will tell you that medicine has a perfect place in this world because those two cancers that they died of are now curable. But in my mind, I'm always was very grateful when I got past their ages. It was just like, okay, so now, and I get to be 70 soon, and I do know that, we need to continue to take care of these temporary bodies we have. And
Yeah.
that's where we're going to talk about a little bit later is self-care.
Yes, absolutely. I too was young when my father died. I was 14. So I totally feel you there and resonate with that. My father had lung and heart issues. And I too feel like being healthy is very important. And Western medicine and non-Western, non-traditional medicine both have their place for sure. So we were having a really fantastic conversation before we started. And I always ask our interviewees about their inspiration and their influence, because I think that it's important for our audience to hear the kinds of things that business people are influenced by and inspired by. And I really loved what you're going to share with us about yours.
I know there's so many, but when you asked that question, my mind immediately came to C.S. Lewis, and he has an amazing quote that we're never too old to set a new goal or to dream a new dream. And also, one of the things about C.S. Lewis, my stepfather and him exchanged writings before. So that was very interesting to have a letter that was penned by C.S. Lewis. But then another person was Zig Ziglar. And a lot of people, say that, but I got to meet him before he died. And I love that his heart was always to serve and to put the other person first. And to me, that is the only way to really live a fulfilled life.
Absolutely. And you and I talk about that because we both come from a place of having a servant heart. That's part of what GabTalks is all about, is to bring other people and highlight them in their businesses.
Absolutely. And, we do a lot of business and networking and different things. And we've learned, I've been leading networking groups over 20 years, but, it is that heart and that mindset that we want to serve other people first and foremost, find out what resources they need, and, lovingly, openly, kindly give it to them without any ulterior motives.
Literally, that's how I built a business for 4 years, and how almost all of my business came to me is because I started from a place of giving. And I love teaching people to start from a place of giving, and the universe will provide, for sure.
Absolutely, Gabriella. And I just know from the time that I have known you, that is so true. You have always been willing to give and to share, especially as solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, different things that can really help them in their business, because it is a whole kind of different ball of wax from working in corporate America.
It really is. It really is. And you're right. Since we've known each other, I think that's one of the reasons why you and I gravitated and get along so well, is because you too come from a place of a servant's heart. And I'm honored that I get to know you and share you with our audience.
Thank you. Just, it is like attracts like. And I think that's something that it strengthens relationships, and it strengthens community. It strengthens collaboration. And that's what it's all about. We would be here all by ourselves if we weren't supposed to be working with each other.
Absolutely. Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them.
Is your computer secure? Is your personal information at risk? Global internet traffic is at an all-time high due to COVID, with mobile accounting for over half it. Is your financial data under attack? People are on YouTube and Facebook and all over social media. Hackers are everywhere. Can you protect yourself? Tech Assist can help. I think I've been hacked. Help. Keep your personal data safe. Oh no, my computer isn't working. Abby and Dar are your answer.
You've all heard, and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. So I always ask, because I think that people who are listening and watching our show, many times they're changing and pivoting in their career, and they want to know that they too can become an expert. We have people who are younger that are starting out going to college, or still in high school, and we love giving to them a place where they can realize that they too can reach expertise. So if you were able to go back and speak to your younger self, your high school, college self, or speak to one of them, what one piece of advice would you give?
I would say ask for help, accept help more. But I think also looking back over my younger self too, I was an inventor. I was a researcher for the government. I had done a lot of different things. I've had different businesses that I started. Some flopped, some failed. I've sold some. But at the end of the day, asking for help instead of just trying to get it all done on my own, because it saves time, heartache, and money when we are talking and asking from the wisdom of other people that have gone through some experiences, or they have their expertise that we definitely don't have. We need to make sure that we're going to be willing to ask, receive, accept, and do it.
I think your idea of accepting help also is a big thing, because you're right. As women, we have so many jobs and responsibilities expected of us that we think that it all falls on our shoulders. So we have to have open ears and an open heart and accept what people are sharing with us, especially if they've gone before us as well. So Nancy, as the healthy cells chick, I know, and with your research background and your familial background, I know you have some great tips to share with us that led you to expertise and that some of our audience can go take action on right now. What would those be?
I would suggest highly that people just stop for a few minutes, Gabriella, and just do a self-assessment. Because wherever they are in their healthy lifestyle, I mean, that's why it's called self-care, but just stopping for a moment and celebrating the good things first and foremost that they're doing to take care of what they have, but then also identifying some areas that could be a little questionable or that they want to tweak or improve. And I think, being, that's not selfish. We're always doing and giving for others.
Yeah.
But just, stopping for a few minutes and saying, this is where I am right now. Is there an area that I need to improve, whether it's, getting rid of some brain fog, or whether it's, not having enough energy to get through the days without, living on some caffeine or different things. But I think that's one tip, is just stopping for just a moment and just assessing where you are, celebrating those good things and identifying some areas. And, as we age, you and I have never been this age before. So we want to continue to keep evolving with strength and vitality. I want to increase the odds, Gabriella, that I'm going to have, longevity and do my best. And so it's never stopping, and it's never, we hear a lot of people talk about, I've stayed 6 sizes down for 15 years, but what is called maintenance? It's not a once and done. If it's a once and done, we're not here anymore. So
right.
I think for people, again, that's one good tip, is just to stop and assess.
Well, please share with us another tip.
Well, one of the things I think is so important for people is sleeping and recovery, because that is our time when our body regenerates again. We get new bodies every 6 to 8 years. They completely regenerate, but sleeping is huge, especially with the cortisol levels. Combating stress and anxiety in this day and time is huge. It's now 1 out of 2 people that are combating anxiety, but I read a statistic. It said that only 30% of people are doing something. That means that 70% are winging it. So, but having that good, peaceful sleep is huge. And I love giving, some different tips and things on how to do that. But that's one of the things that is so helpful for our body. I mean, sure, you have to drink water, exercise, make good, better, best choices, what crosses your lips. And I love, really, another area is helping cancer thrivers, especially since my father and brother both died of blood cancers. I love giving those people hope, Gabriella. Again, keeping their pH where it needs to be, and making some things that they can check on. It gives them more peace of mind.
That's amazing. I think that I'm surprised by your statistic that 30% are doing something when they know that they have anxiety levels and 70% aren't. And that's only the ones that know. There's lots of people that don't even realize that they're suffering from anxiety.
It is, because our body is so amazing at adapting. But you know what? There's times that when you start feeling it just start rising up from your gut. And you can feel the things that are becoming anxious. And there's some great natural ways just to be able to release the things we have no control over.
Yep.
And then again, if it's something that is real that's happening in our life, I'm telling you, between, where the deaths, rejection of jobs, money, all these things, we need to ask for some assistance and some help sometimes. We want to make sure that this mental health is just as flourishing as everything else.
Well, and then sometimes we get taught that if we are asking for help, that we're not supposed to, and that's not right either.
Mm-hmm.
So you should not be discouraged and afraid to ask for help when you need it. And we get in our heads and we're like, no, I don't want people to know, or I'm not supposed to. And we think we have to go it alone, and we don't. Do you have any other piece of advice before we go ahead and conclude?
I really would love for people just to realize just how precious life is. And, the things that we get to take care of, again, we need to continue to be a good steward and do those things. It's just like people like quick and fast, but it does take time. It takes time to recover from things. It takes time to do those things, and give yourself some grace and space, especially if you've gone through some challenges.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody else. If you're going through, anxiety and depression, and you're finding out those resources that you may have, one of the fastest ways to help is to do something kind for somebody else and get the focus off of you. I think that's something that, in this day and time, everybody is playing a blame game. And, we cannot blame other people for life in the way it happens. We're responsible for how we react, right, and how we're going to, respond. And surely all of us sometimes need to take that time out, put ourselves in time out, in our own time out, and just to be able to just, let things settle, and to be able to realize, what it is that we really do need to take care of, the things that we can let go, and the things that are important. And you and I both know the most important things are relationships.
Absolutely. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hi, everyone. My name is Alan Raisman, the owner of thefunofworkingout.com. I'm a Beachbody coach, and on that website, you could try Beachbody workouts out at no cost. But today I want to highlight a wonderful nonprofit outside of Philadelphia. Keystone Opportunity Center provides food, housing, and education to over 5,000 people a year in Montgomery and Upper Bucks County. On their website, www.keystoneopportunity.org, you can learn about the mission, hear client stories, and learn how you can volunteer and support them. Again, my name is Alan Raisman, the owner of thefunofworkingout.com. I'm a Beachbody coach, and you can go to my website where you can try Beachbody out completely free. Thank you.
Well, Nancy, I know that you and I could keep going on for quite a while, but it is time for me to conclude our interview and conclude this conversation. So will you please share with us where people can reach out to you? And you guys remember, the links will be down below. Click the links to reach out directly and see how you can work with Nancy. Where can they find you?
Easiest is through my website, and it's thehealthysaleschick.com.
Awesome. And you have a digital business card, and we'll put the link to that below. And on your digital business card, they can also find you on social media, on
LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. I've got other accounts, but I'm not as active as on those.
I'm the same way. Absolutely. And you have an offer that our audience is absolutely going to love. Will you share with us about that and where they can find that?
Absolutely. Remember, I said people just need to stop for a moment. On my website, there's 2 different quizzes they can do. One is a stress quiz, and it's not to make you more stressed. It's just to evaluate where you are, and it shows the propensity of potential further health challenges. And that comes with some healthy suggestions. And then there's a health wheel that you evaluate yourself in 10 different areas, and you get an evaluation. And you also get some healthy suggestions for those different areas. And those are both things that are just free for you just to be able to stop for a moment and see where you are, because sometimes you may not know that you might have a little bit of a challenge.
Absolutely. So you guys click the link, take both quizzes, and reach out to Nancy, see how she can help you with your mind, your body, and your health. And don't forget to click subscribe, click the bell for the notifications so that you find out when our next episode is airing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.